What's good, YouTube? It's Nas, and we back with another video. Road to 300 subscribers, of course. And in today's video, we're going to be previewing the Western Conference Finals. I decided to do this one first because obviously, Western Conference Finals is on Tuesday, which is my birthday. So this is going to be posted on Monday, and most likely Tuesday is going to be the Eastern Conference Finals. But obviously, the Thunder took care of business against the Nuggets and sent them home, and now the Thunder have another challenge with obviously the Minnesota Timberwolves, and this should be an interesting series. Like they match up kind of well with the Timberwolves, how the Timberwolves are playing basketball recently, and how the Thunder, obviously their whole philosophy is it should be a good series. Ant versus Shai, or the Aura versus Aura shit. Like it should be a fun series. Like I have this series probably going at least 6 or 7. I don't think any of these teams get it done in 5 unless there's a scary injury, freak injury that happens where one of the key players that is going to play a role in this series just eventually goes down, and obviously that ends up impacting the whole entire series basically. But obviously the Thunder are going to need Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to play like the MVP, and I'm pretty sure the MVP is going to be announced before Tuesday. Maybe it's going to be announced on Tuesday or Wednesday. Whatever these days are, Shai's most likely going to be the MVP. And obviously, yesterday's night, I'm posting this on Monday, but in yesterday's game, he had some help. His second option stepped up like I said he needed to do. Jalen Williams, J-Dub, stepped up. He dropped 24 points, and they're going to need him in the Minnesota Timberwolves series. Like, the way the Timberwolves play defense, like, they're going to try to obviously make Shai a scorer. They're not going to make him a passer. So, obviously, Jalen Williams is going to have to get his buckets the hard way. And the way Jalen Williams plays, like, he's an inside and out threat. He likes to drive to the rim, and you can't really do that on Rudy Gobert, obviously one of the best rim protectors the league has ever seen. And obviously they hand in hand, like it's a chess move basically. Like, how can the Thunder, they obviously just faced their first adversity in this playoffs, going 7 games with obviously probably the runner-up MVP in Nikola Jokic. Like, they just had a hard-nosed series getting out of that and going to play a rested Timberwolves team, which I guess not going to play, obviously, because the Thunder have home court for the first 2 games and the Timberwolves are on the road. They're going to have to try to steal one in Oklahoma City, which I think they possibly can do it with obviously the way they've been playing basketball recently and just the way the team looks in the playoffs. Like, it looks so much different than what the start of the season were, when people was doubting if Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards can make it work. Now they're making it work beautifully, and Anthony Edwards is not even playing his best basketball. Like, he's been struggling like 80% of the time. He had a few good games, yes, but obviously, if you watch the games, you notice that it's been the Julius Randle show, and they're going to need Julius Randle to be huge again. Obviously, his primary matchup is most likely going to be Chet Holmgren, and Julius Randle is 240 and Chet is 210, I think. Or it's the opposite, whatever. But I know Chet weighs lower than him, obviously. But obviously, Chet's defense is a whole different story. It doesn't matter about the weight. He uses his length to an advantage. He uses his length as an advantage to obviously guide his opponent into him so he could get the block. Like, obviously, Chet's a great defender. I'm saying obviously a lot, but it should be obvious if you watch these games pretty much. But Jaden McDaniels is obviously going to play a huge role. And I'm not even talking about the Thunder's depth. Like, Alex Caruso, he was huge in Game 7. Like, he was playing hard-nosed defense, and that's what Alex Caruso has been known for since he entered the league in the NBA for the Los Angeles Lakers. He's made his whole career out of that, and his three-point shot is seeming to go in now. So, obviously, him being this hard-nosed defender and the three-point shot falling, like, it's just dangerous. Like, you got to find a way to limit Alex Caruso, because obviously when Alex Caruso is in the game, like, it's going to be a lot to handle. Like, Anthony Edwards, like, you could put so many players on him if you're the Oklahoma City Thunder. Like, this is what they were made for, to guard these wings. You got Alex Caruso, Lou Dort, obviously. You're not putting Shai on him. what's his name? Cason Wallace, like Jalen Williams. Like, you could put so many players on Anthony Edwards to try to make him somewhat uncomfortable. That's why I feel like Jaden McDaniels is going to have to bring up the scoring notch a little bit, because obviously the Oklahoma City Thunder is going to try to limit Anthony Edwards in everywhere. They're going to play Anthony Edwards a certain way so he can't obviously play his best basketball. And both of these teams are great in transition. They love to be in transition. That's how they get their easy points. So it's whoever could stop the transition defense, which when it starts happening and when these teams, or either of these teams, go on a huge run to make the game unserviceable, like you can't come back, you got to stop it. You got to try some way to obviously not have that happen. Like, because in the clutch, these games in the clutch should be fun. Like, I feel like these could be, like, people should not be shitting on these conference finals, in my opinion, because it's going to be a new champion. That's what I like to see. I like to see new champions every year, and it's probably going to be one of these young champions. And right now, the favorites are the West. So the media or the so-called experts are saying that whoever wins this Thunder Wolves series is winning the chip. So whoever obviously comes out of the West is going to have a huge advantage. But it's all on these superstars to make plays and obviously play best basketball. I ain't talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves depth. Naz Reid, if Naz Reid could fuck around and come in the game, and Dante DiVincenzo, like, the Minnesota Timberwolves depth is better than the Denver Nuggets depth. There's no question about that. That's where the Denver Nuggets went wrong. Like, they had no help off the bench, and when Jamal Murray has a shitter, it's a stinker, you can't really do nothing, because you don't have nothing to match it up with. Like, you can't take some, like, you can't take the good with the bad, because obviously the bad outweighs the good, if that makes sense. But if Dante DiVincenzo could come out and be his New York self in this series, like, this should be interesting, bro. That's why I feel like this has the potential to be one of the best series in these playoffs. And that's saying a lot, because there has been a lot of good series and there has been a lot of stinker series. But I don't know, like, it was something about this. Like, in the regular season, these games felt like a playoff matchup, and now we're actually getting it. So it should be fun. It should be fun to watch. And can the Minnesota Timberwolves upset the Thunder? Because obviously, in my opinion, the Thunder should be the favorites. They are a 68-win team after all. And even though the Minnesota Timberwolves have looked great in the second half of the season, the Thunder have been doing this all year. And if I were to make a pick, like, this would be hard. This would be tough to make a pick on. Because in my opinion, I want to see Knicks Wolves finals. That's just me. That's me being biased. But my basketball mind, my gut's telling me the Thunder might win. But my real pick, I'm picking the Wolves in 6 or 7. That's my prediction. But let me know y'all predictions down below, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Who y'all got? Thunder versus Wolves? Nah, if y'all still here, y'all some real ones. But if y'all want to see some more videos, just hit the subscribe button. We post it basically every day. We grinding. And there's a video right there if you want to click that shit. Or I might put 2 up here, but click them. You might like them.